Hello team, I'm Colonel Failure, this is Factorio, and you have joined me in my time machine. What do I mean by that exactly? Well, this is the exact same game save as the one that we have been playing through together, except it is way off in the future. This is about 4 or 5 hours ahead of where the series is up to, and the reason that I brought you here will soon make sense. No, I'm not gonna carry on from this point. Don't get hit by the train. The reason I brought you up to this point, as you can see, look, electric furnaces. Wow, wicked. Except, of course, I've got no resources coming in because my iron mine has run dry. No, the reason I brought you here is because this is a rubbish factory, and it's absolutely lousy. I mean, yeah, it's got some nice stuff going on. This kind of multi-station approach works quite nicely for trains bringing in more goods. I will definitely be employing something along these lines, except for the fact that it's a little bit crowded, and the signal blocks I've got set up for when multiple trains are in at once, they're rubbish is a way to describe it. Solar, lots and lots of solar, and this is just after the point that I've reached the blue flasks phase, which is built directly over this oil field. Classy. But I mean, the reason I do this, and I do this with several of the playthroughs that I do, is I will do an almost chaos theory branching version of the game, so that I can get a feel for how the map lends itself to future expansion, to future plans. It allows me to try stuff out without the wheels falling off my figurative wagon. Of course, everything coming unstuck is one of the reasons that I suspect quite a few people like watching, but so it's not to avoid disaster. What it is to avoid total disaster, where I have to back up by several hours in order to get the thing back on track. Huh? See? Huh? Puns, me. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick look at what was of what I've tried out already. So over here I've got a little concrete manufacturing area, which was porting up iron ore direct from a source down here, which I'm going to run to, largely because it's completely useless now, because all of the iron has gone. I've deleted the mines. The train still goes this way. I just haven't brought myself to expanding things properly yet. The amount of fun and laughs I had getting this track system working is significant. Basically, everything comes in on the left-hand side, comes back out on the right, and as you can see, it's not, no real attention has been paid in terms of the symmetry of the thing. As much as it's somewhat functional, I'm not exactly thrilled with the layout that we've got here. The one thing I do like is that every train that comes in stops at this platform for 10 seconds on the way out, where, if needed, it gets refueled. So we'll wait for one of these two happy-go-lucky fellas to do just that, and then we'll press back on. And at which point, the reason for this time traveling. No, I did have everything turned on. Time-travelling segue should become apparent. See, 3 trains in, and this chap's going to... See, he's clearing. If he hadn't cleared there, it would be blocking all of these points, and, it would just cause untold amounts of horror from you fine people that watch this stuff regularly. Okay, anyway, right, you get the general idea. Basically, I'm not happy with this setup, and this is the way that I'm going at the moment. So let's go back in time together and fix the problems. Okay, here we are, back in the humble environment that I'm sure we've all come to know and love. So there's a whole lot less here. See this? That's all solar power in the future. Yeah, not quite enough room for the size of solar that I need. But recently we've been working on, if I take the belt, we'll get there a bit quicker. We've been working on my furnace area. Now, the furnace area itself is probably big enough, but what it didn't have room for was the amount of train interchange that I want to stick there. Equally, oil processing that I've got going on at the moment is nowhere near enough space. No, I've not come close to having enough space to actually do that effectively. So I'm going to start relaying things out now, so that it's all a little better thought out by the time I come to kind of press forward. So the question is, where to start? So I mean, this iron resource here actually lasted almost long enough to build that entire factory we were just looking at. I mean, the only issue really is that I've got this kind of sorting area going on here, while, you know, somewhat clinging to the notion that I'm going to smarten up this whole system at some point. And as I'm sure you noticed, the one we were just looking at, that was no smart factory. That was pretty dumb. Everything was just being hoovered up and shoved onto belts. Don't get me wrong, it works, but you know, the highfalutin principles by which I said I was making this series, they were you know, casually thrown by the wayside. So the one thing that I am going to need in the future is more iron, and there are 2 iron fields underneath this kind of wooded area here. That's the first one, the one that you'd seen that I'd already kind of dried out, whereas there's another one just down here. Now, what I don't know, because I haven't invested in radar, is exactly where the aliens are. I mean, they pop along and say hello on a regular basis, and my autocannons show them what for, but so far they haven't really posed any kind of major threat. They've not made any moves that I would consider significant. So, okay, right, what am I going to do? First things first, I think I'm going to move the mines, the furnace area here. I'm going to move it down the other side of this lake. I don't even know what I'm running. So this is the problem with playing in parallel, is you have to remember where you're up to. Concrete, yeah, let's get concrete going. That's a nice lengthy investment to help things along. The other thing in that kind of future episode there was the amount of power problems I'd run into was significant. Anyway, right, we're moving towards electric furnaces, which I'm not sure. Have I researched? I have researched the tech. We could just electric furnace up now. What am I going to need that I haven't got? Advanced circuits, which need plastic, right? They do need plastic, right? You've got that memorized correct. Yes, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn this chap here into a plastic making machine for the time being, just so I can get advanced circuits on the go. And I think I'll probably do that in a manual-ish kind of a way, because we're not quite at the point yet where I can automate the full thing. As I mentioned before, a lot of this oil resource ends up getting covered in the manufacturing of other flasks. So basically, where we're going is a grand reorganize into a hopefully, you know, bold, prosperous, and exciting future. There you go. That's not overselling it at all, is it? No, that's all terribly, terribly reasonable. Right. So plastic. I'm going to need coal. And we still have coal at this point. Okay, right. Well, let's get a smart on here and grab it. I can, because I've got plenty of forest to cut down in the near future. But let's save the coal that we are getting now. There we go. You grab that. That's it. You just get working on that, and then we'll get our chemical plant up. Now, this is going to be a haphazard section of building, but, you know, haphazard is my middle name. Or probably. Right, okay, so we need petrogas and we need coal. Well, the coal is already underway. Let's, yeah, see, that's going to work. At least until, you know, we run out of coal, and then there's going to be a disaster. But if I'm cracking oil anyway, I can get heavy fuel, what do we call it? Solid fuel. That's the fella. I can start cracking solid fuel at the same time, so that will do the trick. Right, let's bang this round here. Put a quick one of those on there. You can hold on. We're not quite ready for you yet. I need an underground chaperoo. I've got plenty of those. This is all good. I've actually got the resources I need to get this rolling quite quickly. Obviously, it would be better if I hadn't just decided to, you know, build a couple of solar panels just for laughs. But hey, that's okay too. There we go. Now, obviously, solar panels, not so much in the dark, but it will reduce the pressure on my my steam engines. So at least during the day, don't get me wrong, I'm not going wild. I'm only putting 4 up, but that should eke out the coal a little longer. Now, the second coal resources we can see on the map here. Oh, look at that for some speed. There you go. It's down there. So on the future version, I've got trains hauling that in, but the only thing I'm using it for then is the creation of plastic. So it's not like that resource is going to get eaten in a hurry. Okay, underground belt's good to go. We're going to want an export here. Hold on. Possibly. Yeah, that's going to be better. Let's turn it around. Good. Right. So, I mean, once I've juiced this chap up over here, it's a relatively simple process to get going on this, especially since, yeah, what do we got? 4 tanks of well, 4 very, very lightly filled tanks of oil. But to be honest, I don't need that much plastic for this project. How are we doing? What's getting damaged? Turret's being damaged. That's all right. Turrets can handle it. Possibly ought to go and check on them in a moment, but they knew what they were signing up for. Right, got that on, got this on, got that. One more bit of belt. Steady on. There we go. Off you trot. Right, now give me some pipe. Let's oh, that's slightly more pipe than I intended to be made. Right click, that's what I was trying to do. Thank you very much to whoever reminded me that right clicking was a thing. Most generous of you. Right, let's bang this in here, and we should start seeing these chaps fill up with good stuff. There we go. Grand. And then we'll run this. No, I need that. Don't need that one. No, you can't get gas out of a tank by using conveyor belts. It just doesn't work. I've tried it. They don't take to it. It's all a bit of a disaster. Right. Okay. Good. So that's plastic being made. Good. Right. So we now need to. I'm not missing another fundamental ingredient here, am I? Stone bricks I've got being made over there already. So now it's just a case of getting everything else ready to go. And this is where I will probably end up hand feeding. What are you? Iron? No, let's upgrade to some steel chestage here. There you go. You can be export. You are on. Now, obviously, I could hand make advanced circuits, but if you've never tried it yourself, if you've ever tried it yourself, you will know why I am not hand making circuits. It's because it takes a really long time and you can't build anything else while it's happening. There you go. Spoilers. Right. If I had any sense at all, I'd have this plastic being stuck straight into that chest, wouldn't I? Alright, let's do that. Desist. Let's do something primordial with a conveyor belt and a long-armed fellow me lad. Right. In fact, he's not got a long enough arm for that. But he has for this. In fact, right, if I take that up, put that like that, do something along those lines. Right. Where does it need to be? It needs to be there. There we go. Right, and then we'll bosh that in there as well. And then I need another long arm, which is going to take a little while longer, but to be honest, advanced circuits take that long to build anyway. He's got all day to grab what we need out of that one. So that's good. And then I just need copper cable, which I think we'll make on site. Can't chop up some of this wood here. grand. Okay, you, that, no, yes, no, yes, that one, there, Excellent. And then I just need green Felamilads, which I've got sticking around over here. You know what? I'm going to actually start saying the names of these things properly and stop filling everything in with Felamilad, because that's very lazy. Green circuits. That's what we want. In fact, I'm going to up the production of these chaps because they never go out of fashion. In fact, I don't know if you clocked it when we were looking at it before, but I'd significantly increased my my circuit production capabilities, and well worth doing it was too. Right, let's take that lot. We'll come back for some more in a minute. But you guys get to work. You know, get some hustle on the go. Right, and then if I bash in those, and then you need some copper. There we go. Right, we're underway. Good. So that's going to take about 3.5 months in order to make enough advanced circuits. What is it? I said like 5 or 8 or something ridiculous. 5 circuits per. Well, it's not going to take forever, but I'm going to go and need to amuse myself in the meantime. Let's get another couple of turrets up. In fact, one of the things that I had been working on, in fact, I'm going to do that now, is I built the startings of a proper-looking perimeter wall to keep the alien infiltrators out of my backyard. And as you've probably spotted, you know, they've come to say howdy on a couple of occasions in the last 10 minutes. So locking them out is probably a good call. Now, I mean, where I'm not up to yet in any stretch of the imagination is building a full perimeter around the entire compound, but that time will come. All I need for now is just sufficient deterrent to stop them getting all up in my business while I'm relocating. And of course, this is where, I mean, you know, the second I did anything in this old version, I've deviated from the previous, the other split reality, I think is the way to describe it, that I showed off at the beginning. And that's also kind of cool. It means that I'll probably abandon that future map and start to spin off from this one instead. And again, it's purely just to avoid non-recoverable disasters rather than anything else. In fact, this guy's been busy. Look at all that lot. What have you got? You got 61 kills under your belt. Some kind of turret-based vigilante. So all this wood, I mean, I could turn it into pylons, but I think you and I both know where it's going. I'm going to feed it to the machines, get some more electricity going up in this in this place. And obviously, once I've switched over to electric furnaces, then my power demands are going to spike significantly. So I think I might look to get a solar panel set up rolling relatively quickly. Yeah, there we go. They've now switched to attacking the turret that I just placed up in the kind of northern area. Do we want to come around here? It'll do for now, I guess. There you go. That should be enough. By and large, the aliens do prefer the full frontal assault. Oh, it damaged me wall, look. How uncouth. Anyway, that was 5 of them. So let's give this guy some company. And a little bit more company. And then we will spin... How many did I build? I didn't build enough. I need another one. Oh, well. We'll leave the hero of the revolution down there. And then we'll stick one more here just in case they decide a slightly broader approach. Right, bang that in there. And then we need another 200, which I happen to be carrying. Splendid. Right, good. So, I mean, that should keep the keep that side of my my operation out of trouble for a bit. And there we go. And meanwhile, 158 electronic circuits. Excellent. Which means we can now flit gaily over to the advanced circuit area. Yeah. Have some of those. Filly boots. How many have we got? 11? Oh, that's enough for 2 furnaces. How exciting. Right, what else do I need? Stone brick, which obviously I just used up my previous stash on making all of that wall. However, as luck would have it... There you go. Magic. Right, let's get those two on the go. Yeah, I know I've not got enough ingredients. Right, and we'll also go and grab some steel while we're at it. Now, I mean, this is going to blow through my resources at quite a rate. And from the looks of it, I am nowhere near delivering on power. And that's because this is out of juice. Right. Well, we ought to fix that then. Now, I've done this various ways. When you start running low on power and things start looking a little bit bleak, you can either manually feed it in order to get things up and running again, but personally I prefer this approach of basically have something immediately outside your fueling stop. In fact, let's grab all of that and stick that in as well. It's not like they won't use it. And then quite frankly just load it up and let it go. But from the looks of it, we're down to 1 coal mine. So I ought to go and give that a look. Yeah, you see, only 1 operational at the moment. We're going to need more than that, especially if I'm swiping it all before it gets to the furnaces. Right, let's dig them both up. Is my pickaxe broken again? Yeah. Right, now we might be able to get 3 on here. Now, the overlap of mines is interesting. As you can see, let's give it a slightly closer up. The green area is where this guy is going to harvest from, but he's only going to pull at the speed he can do. So what you want, what you might consider is spacing things out a touch, so that you can run multiple mines on the same section of resource. That's a way to describe it. Yeah, it's not ideal. Oh, that's a turret. I can move that. Hold on. You, get out of the way. And you. Right, let's see if I can get 3 on here. That would be a much higher... There we go. That's the way to do it. In fact, let's drag you down 1. So those 2 together, they're going to kick around for a bit. Obviously, I haven't brought enough plate with me. Yeah, marvellous. But then I can run another one. Oh, it's steady on. I can run another one on that remaining section of coal, and because it's picking it out of there in a solo fashion, I should at least get those going. Given that we're in a fuel low environment right now, let's get those moving. Yes, and that should, I mean, as much as it will use up that coal source faster, what it will also do is get more coal into the system. Yeah, you see, look, kind of wheezing to try and get any power into the system at all. Right, I'm going to juice one of these up. In fact, let's do 2 of them, just so that I've got enough for the inserters to do their thing. There you go. Go on, one of you take it. No, you're all too slow. You all suck. Brilliant. Well, we're not in a good place to get electric furnaces up, are we? I'm definitely going to need to set up solar power in order to get anything good out of this. I also need some copper. There we are. Right, now I can build another one of those. And also that should have us getting a little bit of coal coming back in. Now, there we go. Which will stave off the brownouts that we've been seeing for a little while longer. Now, I don't think I'm actually generating enough power to run at any kind of a level of efficiency. But as long as I've got sun coming in, it's all good. And obviously when the sun comes up, my solar panels kick back in again. Anything? No, these guys burn through wood like there's no tomorrow. Like it's made out of wood. Anyway, that's going to finish us off for today. Next time around, more progress. I'm gonna get a solar panel machine up while you're away, and then we won't have to wait for 5 minutes before it gets with the program. So why not tune in for that? Thanks for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Yes, the transition, a funny time. Yes, certainly, and hopefully this is going to lead to something that we can make more efficient, much quicker. So subscribe. He says, tripping over his words, if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss out on the next enthralling and indeed gripping episode of Factorio, and chuck a like on this one if you enjoyed it. I'd be very grateful. Thank you for watching. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio.